Okay, before I get into anything else, there are a lot of slides I'm going to use that come from Kitchen and Short. There are a lot of slides that come from other sources. I try and make attributions to those sources as best I can. I'm not going to do that for the flat world slides. So if there's no attribution, I think you can assume that it's flat world. Sorry about that. I'm a terrible video presenter. Um, so we're going to talk about value creation a lot. And so I'm going to start with it. This is from an article by Todd Zenger. Um, and, how do you find new ways to create value for customers? How do you grow, right? That's the big challenge for strategists, for business strategists. How do you maintain profitable growth? Once you're big, it's very hard to keep growing, right? It's hard to get big, right? But you can often, often have more choices about what to do next. So we need to understand what value creation is and how we do it and what benefits it creates for us, right? So every firm has a value proposition that describes why a customer should buy a product or service. The value proposition has a defined customer segment, and it convinces prospective customers that this product or service will add more value or better solve a problem than competitive products or services. That's what a value proposition is supposed to do. It's supposed to convince customers to buy your stuff and not somebody else's. How do you do that? So here's an example, right? We have Segway, fantastic product, groundbreaking new technology, amazing, amazing, thing, cool factor. Segway was the Tesla of its time, but it was a dud, unlike Tesla. It wasn't a dud. There were markets for it, right? There are still markets for it, even though they just went out of production. The Segway is used by mall cops, right? Thank you, Kevin, whatever his name is, and by tour groups, right? You go to almost any tourist city in the world, you'll find little lines of people cruising along on a Segway, going from place to place on the city tour. But the rest of it, yeah, those are not very big markets. It doesn't create a lot of value. It's a classic example of an engineer's solution to a problem that doesn't really exist, right? Or maybe the problem does exist, but the solution is just not one that makes sense for users. So it's not just great technology. It's not just, that it's, something fantastic and it works, right? It's really what creates value. So a thing like Segway, fantastic technology versus something like TikTok, which is not mind-breaking technology by any means. TikTok is creates way more value, and it's free, right? So so how do we create value for customers? Well, we might make it accessible, right? Zipcar puts a car you can rent in your neighborhood, and you can go get it whenever you want. Uber, it's accessible. Wherever I am that there's Uber, I can get it. Progressive, I can get insurance easily however I want, so it's accessible. I might have performance. I might have a product that really performs well for something customers care about, like it's really easy to use, or it's fast, or it does things that other products don't do. So we can have product performance as a way to create value. We could create value by making it custom, right? We could customize your products, precisely for you. And this isn't just printed M&Ms. This is the way your house is designed. If you're building your own house, this is cosmetic surgery. This is your education, which is customized, and so on. So customization is a very powerful way to create value. We could be really convenient, right? We could, the Keurig, coffee pot is a great example. DoorDash or delivery services, Amazon, iPod, all designed around convenience, making things risk-free, right? So buying a car is a big consequential thing. Buying a Hyundai is even more consequential and risky, except that they'll give you a 100,000-mile warranty, right? Reduce your risk. FedEx, we're going to allow you to track the package. So we can reduce risk for customers and create value that way. We can create value with design, right? So we have iPad, we have the OXO Good Grips grater, right? OXO is a design company, really. We have a Patagonia shell, Polartec shell. So really great design, aesthetics, ergonomics, environmental implications, other kinds of design factors. We can create value by reducing customers' costs. Skype replaced phone calls, it's way cheaper. Comcast argues for service bundles. Salesforce cuts my software costs by putting all my customer relationship management in one place. Now, there's a difference between cost reduction for the customer as a thing. It's easier in Zoom compared to Skype, for instance, much easier to use, and having a low price. We might have a low price and hard to use. We might have a low price and not terribly convenient. We might have a low price and not great design, right? So we have low price and free, and we give up some service features, right? So Southwest, you don't get assigned seating, there's no food, you don't check your bags through, but they fly very frequently and it's relatively cheap. They don't charge any fees. Gmail, it's free. You get advertising, but it's free. And you get unlimited space and you get advertising. And so on. So we can actually hit the different, there's low price and free is different from cost reducing, right? Low price and fee is what the customer pays for it. Cost reducing is what it does for the customer. We can have things that are innovative and new that people really want. That all of the things on this page were at one time fad products, right? They had a great surge. And of these, right, we have a Palm Pilot, we have Sirius XM, we have a Dell tablet that was a harsh environment tablet, and we have Xbox. The only live product on this page is Xbox because the other ones were no longer interesting. So that's it for value creation and the introduction to the course, and we'll go on to chapter 1 in the next video.